What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Redcat Live. We're here for another week, new episode. Same old me, though. Sorry to bum you out. But nonetheless, I want to say what's up to some of the folks that are already hanging out in the chat. In the chat. It's been a day, guys. My apologies. HMRC Mike, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you. We got Mark Tulog back at it again out of the 405. Always holding it down for Oklahoma. I love it, man. I love it, man. Thank you for coming back week after week, bro. You're an MVP. We got got some turntables back at it again out of the 831. Thank you for hanging out with us, good sir. We got Gino. What's going on, Gino? He says, what's up, fellas? Out of the 719, Pueblo, Colorado, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I salute you, big dog. We got Jacob. What up, Jacob, man? He's back at it again, hanging out with us. We got Jay. Was it Jay's? Sorry, the chat moves quick, so I'm trying to catch it. What's up with you, man, Jay? We got Jack. What's up, Jack? How are you, bro? Of course, Chris Stanley. It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have Chris here. So, Chris, thank you as well for hanging out with us, man. HMRC says, what's going on? He's actually representing the 406. Listen, I don't got Google up, man. Where's the 406 at? I got to ask. Jason Earl, what up, man? Appreciate you, man. We got John Miller out of Mojave Valley, Arizona. Appreciate you guys. Listen, guys, while people kind of chiming in and saying what's up, we appreciate you guys as always. We got Chicago Chi-Towns in the house as well. I love it. I love it. We got Mr. Paul Tharp out of Tennessee, man, the middle of Tennessee at that. And yeah, Mark, you see it. I did. I kept the trunk open. And I still have my fingers, thankfully. Didn't cut anything off. Montana, I appreciate that. All right, see, I just got educated a little bit. 406 is Montana. Love it, man. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Michelangelo, what's going on? Big Migs, appreciate you as always, bro. Guys, you know, last week I told you guys that I'm going to be working a little bit on this. Someone wanted to know what was on my bench. It was a suggestion that they had for this show, and I figured, you know what? I got a few weeks before the Arizona Super Show. We talked a lot about what I'm doing to this car. One of the goals was to cut the trunk open, put an audio system inside of it, cut up the chassis so that I can fit some wider stance wheels on it as well on the front, so we can clear and actually turn the wheels while the vehicle is laid out. So I started doing a little bit of work on that. I still have a little bit more work left to do in that case. I was able to cut the trunk open. It was not as easy as a task as like the 64 was for me the previous time, but I'll walk you guys at least through the process of what I did and what helped me get it done. The name of the game whenever you cut open a trunk on one of these cars is just be patient with it. Going slow and steady gives you better results than just kind of speeding through it. I even made a mistake. My blade kind of tracked outside of the line a few times or once, and I scored a spot that I'm not happy with, but nonetheless, the trunk is open. I did leave all the rough edges. In fact, let me turn on this camera here. Let me swap. There we go. I did leave some of the rough edges still on here as well to show you guys, but it is cut. Let's see, there you go. You can see how it's kind of rough right on the top here. So eventually I'll get some sandpaper and we'll go ahead and sand and smooth all these edges down, and we'll do the same to the actual car itself. My keyboard out of the way. But there's the trunk cut open. Once the speaker box is mounted, it'll mount a lot better there, but there's the trunk open itself. There was a little bit of a headache that I had to deal with. Scoring the lines down here first were the easiest one. I used an X-Acto knife, and I just kept slicing, following the line until eventually I wore it out thin. And I was actually able to, let me take the body off and I'll show you a little easier. So I was able to kind of snap this and bend it like you see here. Let me see here. Bend it to a point where it was actually able to flex enough that after I scored it enough times, I was able to get the sides to kind of snap. Once I was able to get that one to snap, I started working on this side. I noticed that after scoring this a numerous amount of times, I was not going to be able to get the trunk to move downward in the direction to be able to snap the top line. So that was a challenge in itself. So I had to flip the body upside down. And what I ended up doing was I scored it from the inside, took the tray off completely off the car. Back this up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Took the tray off the car itself, and I just literally ran the scoring line right along the inside. And of course, you got to be careful because on the inside, the indentation is kind of like a speed bump. So once you score that a few times, at that point, I was able to take the sticky tape, because this piece actually goes here. And there's sticky tape that sits right on top of here, and that's what keeps the trunk lid attached. So I was able to just cut and peel the sticky tape off, and then I was actually able to maneuver the trunk up. And once I was able to move it up, I was able to just get it to snap completely nice and clean from the backside here. So took me about a solid, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so to do. But there it is, cut open. After I did that, obviously I didn't want to keep this piece there. So I went ahead and just used a really sharp utility knife, and I just scored it a few times, and then I ended up actually cutting straight down here and here. And I was able to just kind of push down on it a few times, and it just went and snapped on me, but gave me a pretty nice sharp line. One of the reasons I like using an X-Acto knife for a lot of these cuts is mainly because it gives you at least a nice straighter line going all the way across. Sure, there's some cleanup that needs to be done. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than, like, let's say if I were to use a Dremel. Some guys are good at that. And if you have a good, steady hand, hey, my hat goes off to you. You guys are awesome. I'm getting older and my vision kind of sucks now. I've noticed while doing this. But nonetheless, a little bit of patience, take your time, throw on an episode on TV of something you want to watch, and just get to work on cutting it open. But again, less is more is less in that sense. But at least thankfully we're able to get the trunk lid open. Once I was able to get it open, I was able to kind of figure out how I wanted to position the back trunk area. Obviously you see there's these tabs where the plate goes and the battery's attached to. Speaker box that I had made before, I'm having Chris redesign me a new one where I can actually put a back piece on this and actually box it in to hopefully get a little bit better sound out of it as well. So I should sit like that. Once I shave off with the Dremel these steps that you guys see here and here all the way around, I'll be able to actually use the exact same carpet that I used here. I'll use it across the entire back area so that it looks uniform in that sense. The carpet that I got is pretty inexpensive. I think I paid like $1.25 for a sheet of 12-inch by 12-inch at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. You can get it as well. So that'll kind of tie up the trunk lid itself and hopefully get it so that the noise will come out a little bit easier. The next step that we talked about was cutting the chassis apart in the front so that when we get full lock, you guys can see right in here, that we can get the wheel to actually turn while the car's laid out. So if you guys look at this side, it's nice and round still. I started on this side specifically. Let's see if I can get a better angle. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at everything in reverse on the camera, so I'm trying to do it justice. But I went ahead and cut here to kind of open up this area. And then I also did it right around the front as well. And that'll allow me to at least get that tire to tuck a little bit better when it's laid out, if that makes sense. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get it to focus. There we go. There we go. So that's the goal. I'm not done yet. I still have a little bit more trimming to do, especially in this front section right here. And I still need to open up the back. There we go. Sorry. So we've got to open up the back as well a little bit more to gain a little bit more access or clearance for the wheels. The goal with the rear is to get it to lay out. I'm going to be moving all of these electronics, all these wires that you guys see right here So we'll take this off to give you guys an idea. Because the 26ers are a lot taller of a wheel, right now I'm not able to get the back to lay out all the way. And I really would like that wheel to tuck up from here to about right there. That'll give me a nice tuck inside the actual body itself. So to give you guys an idea, we're going to be actually removing the rear tubs completely by cutting them off with the Dremel. So we're going to take all this wiring off, and we're going to end up cutting, let me see here, right about, yeah, we're going to cut right around here and here, and taking this whole top section completely off. That'll allow that wheel to kind of tuck up a lot higher up in there. As I mentioned, the car was designed to have 13s on it. The 26ers obviously hit. So I'm hoping that I won't have to cut any holes in the center to allow access for the differential to pop up. But it'll kind of give me at least a little bit more room to play with to get the wheel to get up there. And it'll give a nice tuck nonetheless. Now, with that said, I'm not running these wheels, but to give you an idea, I want to run something that has that kind of a dish on it. So you guys can see nice deep dish. And I want to put them on here. Now the problem if I were to put these on is that they're going to stick out quite a bit right now. And I actually learned this from you guys, the community members that, are out there already hustling and doing some really cool stuff. Some of you guys put me on to swapping out the rear differential with the Monty differential because it's narrower than the 64. To give you an idea just how much wider it is, you have a nice almost flush location on the stock 26ers, but on this side, they stick out quite a bit. But I really want that aggressive look, so we're going to go ahead and swap out to a Monte Carlo rear end here live on the show, which is an easy swap, but for some of you guys, I don't know how to do it, or just kind of like, I just bought a RC lowrider and I really don't want to mess with it. It's not my vibe. I don't have any education, so might as well just hang out with me and let's do it. And let's see if I can multitask and talk to you guys all at the same time while you guys are on the chat. But that's kind of it in a nutshell of what I'm trying to accomplish in the next couple weeks. Nothing major. Again, all of these things are really easy things to do. The way I'm going to cut the rear tubs, and it's going to be quite easy. I'm just going to use a Dremel to cut these completely open. So. And then I'd like to use not only a cutting wheel, but this is the Dremel that I use here at work is my mobile one because I do have an actual Dremel brand one at home, but I use this one because it's kind of quick and easy when I'm out traveling. But I really like using the sanding round bits. The sanding round bit kind of allows you to get some nice, smooth, rounded edges after you make your cuts. So let's take the front wheels off as well. They're going to rub on the shocks as well, Red Wolf. Okay, so that's going to be a task that I did not know existed. So yeah, if I have to, I'll try and move them inward as well. Again, never done this before myself, so I know there's going to be a little bit of learning curve even for myself. But let me see if now that the wheel's out of there, you guys can see just how much I opened it up already. There you guys go. So that's after I've already cut it open a little bit to allow that wheel to kind of sit in there. While the opposite side, there you guys go, still has all the plastic in there. So I think I dropped something. Hopefully it wasn't important. So let's see. Let's check out some of your guys' comments here really quick, guys. Okay, Roderick, I appreciate it. So you did that to tuck your 30s, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay, hey guys, there you guys go too. EPG Scale. He's got some full interiors for the Caprice as well. So check him out on Facebook. EPG Scale. Drop your handles, man, so where they can find you, and I'll highlight your comments so that folks on YouTube and Facebook can see what we're doing as well. So. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. You don't want to hear the stereo system. Let me work on that new box. Let me try and find like a song when I get to that point that is not copyright, so we don't get in any kind of trouble. That would suck because yeah, you know, being that we work for a company, it's gonna be it. So, um, okay, so they rubbed you through emotion. Yeah, so good thing for me is I'm not going to be doing through emotion. I'm just going to be going up and down. Not really, you know, trying to make it dance on the 26ers. I kind of just want to have this more of a, it's not the right year range for a donk, but you guys get the vibe that I'm going for. I just wanted to make something I can cruise around and kind of have a good time with, if that makes sense. Jacob, yes, these are functional. So I showed these last week if you missed it, but these are like, I think 44 millimeter speakers, I believe, or 40 millimeter speakers. They are equivalent to about almost a 1.5 inch speaker. These are 4 ohm, 5 watt speakers. I went ahead and wired them up to a little mini Bluetooth amp that you guys see here. And I just plug them in to a little flight pack battery. So just control it with your phone. And of course, the speaker box was designed. This one was made like back in 2020, maybe almost 2021, by Chris Wheeler, one of our guys that works here. And I went ahead and started carpeting it up, and we just kind of worked together on it. Again, nothing compared to the cool stuff that you guys are doing out here right now. I mean, there's some guys out there that are making some amazing systems and amazing boxes. This is, in my opinion, this is old school, you know, stuff that I made a few years back. So it's nothing that I'm trying to compete with anyone. Just having some fun to make something. You guys asked, if you guys asked what was on my bench, so I figured, you know, might as well show you guys and have a little bit of fun, you know. Craig Weck, no minions today, unfortunately. Everyone's really busy doing some stuff. So I wanted to make sure we kind of keep them organized and keep them busy, you know. All right, so when replacing, and you guys can see here, this is the rear axle that is on the 64, and this is the one I have in my hand. Let me take care of this. The one I have in my hand is actually the one out of Monte Carlo, so it is narrower than the. There we go. Oop, there we go. So it is narrower than the 64 chassis or 64 axle, and that'll allow me to kind of get a little bit more of a deeper dish and offset, maybe a staggered look. So some of you guys have done this a million times, which, hey, cool, but there might be someone out there that may not have ever had the opportunity to swap out something, and it's intimidating just to hold a tool. So we're going to start by just using a 1.5 millimeter driver, and we're going to take off the drive shaft first. There's a set screw that is located right there, and we're going to go ahead and take that bad boy out. So we'll take that set screw out, and once you take it out, you'll be able to take the drive shaft off. Now there is a small thing you guys should know about. Let me see if I can find something to put right underneath here. There we go. Let's see if I can angle this a little. There we go. Perfect. So take your set screw out. And then obviously when you go and pull the drive shaft out, it's not going to want to come out all the way. The best thing you want to do is lift the axle up and then pull it out. Once you again pull it out, you're just going to leave it there. We're going to reuse that. And make sure you guys keep your hardware safe. Don't lose it. I'm already losing stuff here because I'm not paying attention to this. I'm doing multiple things. So, all right, you're going to take your 1.5 and we're going to disconnect the actual shocks. We're going to take off the lower links that are here and here, and then the other shock. And then the top are these ball cups that we're just going to pop on and pop off. The ball cups, see if you guys can get a good look at them here. Oops, there we go. All right, right there. So I'm just going to start by taking off the lower shock screw on both sides. what's going on with everyone. What's everyone up to this week? Anyone got plans to do some fun stuff with your RCs? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. All right, so we're going to take off the other one here as well. Now it's just going to kind of float on you, which is no big deal. Now we're going to take off the lower links, the two lower links. Same 1.5 millimeter driver for both. You kind of would think that I would have more electric tools around here, but I'm old school. I like, you know, a glutton for punishment and working on my carpal tunnel because I feel like it's a way of life when you're an RCer, is to be in your 50s, and I'm on track, you know. It says, looks cool, bro. I have lots of catching up to do, trying to get RC debt down. Dude, I get it, bro. I've been dealing with RC debt for too long. It's just a way of life now, unfortunately. You know, we have a new employee here, Sergio, and the guys here were kind of talking him into buying some RCs for himself. And I was like, I kind of feel like, have you guys ever seen Walk Hard? It's like, don't do it, Dewey. Is it habit forming? No, it's the best thing ever. Yeah, that's what RC is until it's not. So next thing we're going to do, guys, is you have these ball cups here. There we go. Right there and right over here. We're going to go ahead and just pop those off. There's one. There's the other. And then there's the axle. Now, let me see if I can get a comparison here, height-wise. You guys can see just how much shorter the Monty one is compared to the 64, 59 LRH 285 axle. So we're going to go ahead and take that, set it off to the side, and then we're going to now just simply install the axle out of the Monte Carlo, the LR 260. Does anyone remember how this goes? I should have taken pictures. I'm just going to pop that ball cup on first. Here's the other one right there. We're going to put it on, push it, and it just pops. We're good there. Now we're going to work on the lower links. Now would be a really cool time if you guys, you know, had the money to spend to hit up, you know, RC Hop Shop or RC Custom Lowriders and buy the lower links and do the whole, you know, high-rise hopper look, the radical hopper. Now would be the time to do that if that's what you guys wanted to do. I'm not built like that right now, especially after Christmas and kids' birthdays at, you know, multiple birthdays in January. So I'm a little bit on the short end of that. So I'm going to just stick to what I can afford right now, which is just the over-the-counter stuff that we have here at Redcat at the moment. In a perfect world, I'd be able to throw on some Jeffries control arms for the front, so it has that nice dope stance, looks good and proper. But future plans, of course. Let's see. Edgar Sanchez says he's got his ice cream truck hitting bumper. Hey, there you go, bro. You know, it's kind of a trip because, you know, one of the main things about doing these shows when we first started was to do more how-to stuff. But we just weren't set up with the right camera equipment to be able to do that. And as well as I didn't have a moderator back then. Everything was just on me. And thankfully now I have a really awesome moderator, Devin. Devin, say what's up, Dev.
What's up, Dev?
Dev helps out a lot. He's super awesome. He helps moderate the pages, helps kind of keep things tidy all the way around, and just awesome to have. So he's kind of watching a lot of comments as well while my eyes are down, so that we can kind of always help each other out wherever possible. So Ernesto Sanchez, yes. So this axle actually I took out of a donor car just for movie purpose right now. Obviously, if you buy everything on the website, you have to buy piece by piece by piece, and I can make a laundry list of parts if you are interested in doing that. But this was just something that I already had ready to go. Movie magic, just so that I can get to the show, because if not, I would spend way too long just disassembling and swapping things out to keep it quick and keep it flowing for the show purpose, of course. John Greco, man, thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Rayshawn gets it, bro. He says, he had one and now he's at 7 RCs, man. I get it, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I lost count, but I've also been in the RC scene for almost 15 years. So I have a lot of RC cars and mainly crawlers with a couple lowriders, drift cars, and so on. So it's addicting, man. But it's a hobby at the end of the day, right? I mean, some people are into pew pew, some people are into shoes, some people are into I don't know, collecting hoodies. I don't know, there's something for everyone out there, and I think the end game is always just to be able to enjoy yourself and do something that is meaningful to you, at the end of the day. So whatever that may be, whatever that may look like. For me, it's been RCs. I've been involved with my kids for many years. I've used it to create a foundation with my best friend, brother, and my close friends and family to make an event every year to help raise autism awareness and raise funds for tuition for children that were diagnosed with autism. I mean, I think it's amazing when you get to use the hobby, not just as a hobby for your outlet, but one that you can also do something to be helpful to a community and beyond. I don't know. I'm always a firm believer. You want to leave a legacy behind in life, and my legacy, I definitely don't want it to be what I was when I was a teenager and acting a fool. I want it to be something positive, something that's constructive. So if you can do that with your hobby, hey, all the power to you, Let's see here. All right. That's it. That's how simple it is to just swap out the axle. Now that it's in there, we'll be able to, let's test it out. I'm going to go with the wider of the stance, the barrels. Now there's something that should be coming out at some point, I'm sure. But I may not stick with 26s. I might put some drift wheels or on-road wheels and tires to, change it up a little bit and give it more of a muscle car stance. But I'm going to do 2 different offsets in the rear. One is the most aggressive one. We'll see how that fits. And then we're going to go with the less aggressive one on the opposite side, and we'll see which one tucks the best, and it'll give me a better idea of which way I want to go with for the rear. So now that we have that, we'll settle this bad boy back down. Now you guys can see that aggressive poke that we had on this side is not as pronounced as it once was, where it was sticking out to here. This side actually sticks out a little bit more. Did I? No. Oh yeah, we did. So this is the least aggressive. That's the most aggressive. I still feel like it's a little too aggressive, but let's see how the body fits, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah. Oh, that's fire. So now on this side, you guys can see we have a nice stance. The wheel is inside. Once I cut you guys can see I do have a little bit of a gap. So once I go ahead and cut the wheel wells out, I'll be able to get this body to hopefully kind of tuck in a lot deeper, something like that, in hopes. Opposite side is the more aggressive stance, and I think that's money right there. I mean, look at that. It still has a tuck inside, so I'll still be able to get that wheel to tuck in there and clear the body, like so. Let's see if we can get a better look. There we go. So yeah, no, that works. So now we can run more of an aggressive stance on that bad boy. So that worked. Awesome. So thank you guys out there that are doing that kind of work in the community, leading others out there. There's a lot of you guys out there that are, always helping each other out. You guys aren't gatekeepers, and I love that about so many of you guys that are out in the community helping each other out. because I watch closely and I didn't know that you can do that. And, you know, knowing this knowledge, right? And I couldn't have done it without you guys testing things out. I used to play a lot around with these a lot more, and I really don't get to because of all the work that I do here now. So to be able to see that is kind of a nice little modification that we can do on this body. And yeah, so y'all are awesome. Thank you for the suggestion. Now, there's some folks out there that already do this as well. And I'm going to show you something. The reason why I wanted to do this is because these wheels, now if I were to put this wheel on here, it's going to sit in really far. See that? Now that looks, let me swap here. Now it looks really goofy in the back, right? But there's a lot of folks out there that take these wheels and you take all the screws off the back. Same 1.5 millimeter driver. Casanova, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you. I'm telling you guys, RC Life is going to give you two things. It's going to give you bankruptcy and carpal tunnel. I don't know which order, but it's a thing. John Greco, we appreciate that, man. My customer service guys, the support team, man, they appreciate those comments. They really do. They always are. Every week they come in on Monday. They're backed up. There's emails and things that they need to get to. So I always tell everyone, just be patient with them. They always are catching up. Orders as well. When we're closed Saturday and Sunday, so when orders are put through, they don't really get an opportunity to ship those orders out right away. As they're catching up from Friday evening to Saturday and then Sunday. So, sometimes people comment like, yo, I ordered something on Friday night and you haven't got any tracking and it's Tuesday. Like, just bear with them. We ship pretty quick, but sometimes when they're catching up back there and with support, answering questions, it's kind of hard to get to everyone in a timely manner, but the guys do it as gracefully as possible, Agent Marcy says, not only are you going to go broke, but you're also going to have bad knees from always looking for screws in the carpet. I found that when you lose them, just let them go. It's no big deal. What does that say? No use crying over spilled milk, right? So, all right. So, guys, like I mentioned before, let me see if I can get a little closer here. So, there's screws all in the back here that hold the spokes to the barrel, similarly to what you guys see here with all the screws going. There we go. You guys can see the holes there. So these barrels are supposed to go in. You're supposed to put the screws from the back. So what I did to achieve that extra, lip, because the stock lip it's okay, but I wanted a more aggressive lip. These have a wider lip on one side than the other. So I just took the wheel and I put it in from the backside. And my thought was, I'm just going to have really tiny drill bits that I've purchased being in the hobby. And I'm just going to drill through each one and then put the screws on the outside like you see like in a 3-piece wheel. And that will give you that nice wide barrel. We're going to do the same thing with the 26ers. And again, the community out there does this all the time. I think there's someone out there, I almost want to say, I believe it might have been Ryan Richardson that had a recommendation that he did where he actually glues them so that they're more permanent and you get a nice smooth finish. There's someone out there, and if I'm wrong, I do apologize, but I thought I saw him suggested to someone a while back. I'm going to do the cheater way right now, just for movie magic, and show you guys what I'm doing. Let's see here. All right. So let me see. Okay, so we're going to push from this end out, and we're going to remove those. Now, what a lot of folks do, and I'm going to describe this because last time I did this, I messed up. And it was a pain to try and find the centering point. All right. So what we do is you want to take the part that has the hex, and you're going to go ahead and put it in on the back side here. So now you have this look. We're going to put a couple screws in just to keep it in place for now, and I can put this on. and show you guys what I mean by this look that I want to achieve. I'm hoping someone out there eventually makes some really cool stuff. That'd be awesome. So that we can just take these inserts as spokes, full spokes, and put them in. That would be amazing to see happen. Who knows? Maybe someone's already working on something cool. You never know. So I think I went the wrong way. I did, because they're going to poke out. So we're going to take this one out. He says, wish, let me see. Oh, you wish we sold this one, the sign right behind me? That was done by Unique Custom Designs. They do cutouts and they sell them at all the lowrider shows. And they can actually make you one. And they're actually working on one right now. So big shout out to, gosh, his name is, last name Lopez. And I'm just drawing a blank right now because my brain is going 100 miles a minute. Stephen Lopez, Seven Sins. He's actually the brother of the gentleman that owns. They actually all work together. It's a family business. They do the cutout signs. They're working on a new one for me that's actually going to light up. But if you are interested, you can always reach out to them. They'll take care of you. So now that's going to be the look that we're going for with a nice deep dish. And because we put the narrow axle on there, we're going to go ahead and put this bad boy on. And big shout out to, I think, Louis Alcala a few years back gave me the chips to put on the knockoffs. Put this bad boy on. And now, perfect. Put the front one on. Oh, you know what? Let me put the hex back on the front. Let's see here. Put that through there. And again, guys, I'm not doing anything that's new. A lot of the guys in the community have been doing this for a long time. So big shout out to them. I'm just blessed that I have some knowledgeable dudes out there that have been pushing the boundaries and doing some cool stuff. So I'm probably going to do the same thing to the front wheel that I did to the rear. Oops, there we go. I'm probably going to do the same thing that I did to the rear wheel to give that look to the front. But instead of using the wider lip, I'll use the more narrower one that did that. The person that I first saw do this look was actually Skunks Hobbies. Big shout out to Robert Campbell for putting us on. And he's did an amazing job at that. So he's got a couple cars that he's done this with. But in essence now, let's see here. This is what it would look with a nice wider stance. And because we use that Monte Carlo chassis, that bad boy is tucked up really nice. So let's see. Oh, there you guys go. So Skunks Hobbies. See, bro, I didn't know if I was allowed to say anything yet. So I was keeping it on the hush hush until you told me I'm good to say something. But yeah, Skunks Hobbies is working on a aluminum deep dish barrel. So you guys will be able to use the barrel inserts from the 26ers on an aluminum barrel. Now, of course, you're not going to be hopping with them, but at least you'll be able to do some stuff that is going to be mounted to that solid barrel, and it's going to stick really well, and it's going to look amazing too. So it's a big shout out to Skunks Hobbies for that, always holding it down, always keeping us looking proper and dapper, and just like the icing on the cake. So yeah, so big shout out, Robert, man. Inspired by you on this one. You did this a while back. I don't know if you're the originator of taking the 26ers and doing that, but I know that I saw you first doing it, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. So let's swap cameras here to this side. You guys can get more of a different view here. Let's turn this camera off. There we go. So there you guys have it. There's the way the car is going to look. The nice deep dish barrel in the rear. We're going to try and achieve that on both the front and rear. And yeah, that'll give us what we need. Now, what is up next? Obviously, I'm going to have some of the guys. I'll take credit. Good, man. See, hey, gotta give my boys flowers. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I need to do is I need to print some hinges for this trunk lid, so I can get this trunk lid to open and close. We're going to install a light kit for the Caprice on the vehicle as well. That'll be coming up in some shows next week. I'm going to see if Robert, if you have some of those Jeffrey's arms in stock, hit me up. Let me know. I'll order a set from you. And we can install those on the live as well. And if for some reason he's not in stock or I can't get him before the show, we'll throw on some Redcat chrome ones for the front as well. So you guys can kind of see the vision now, right? Nothing too aggressive. You know, we're not reinventing the wheel, but just adding some details to kind of make this vehicle pop in that sense. So we'll put the audio system back here so you guys can see it one last time. We'll close this bad boy up. So I'm going to try and cut the rest of that one side of the plastic of the chassis for next week's episode, so you guys can see how that sits, and we'll get a better idea of what this car is going to finally look like. Again, stock paint. I'm not a painter. There's a lot of dope guys out there doing some cool paint work. I'm just not as talented. But again, this now kind of gives you a better idea of what I'm going for the Lowrider Super Show here in Arizona in my car, just to cruise around, you know, with the folks at the RC Boulevard set up by Cory Clark. And this will be my ride. So hopefully we'll get it all done. It says, where's the muff flap? It does need muff flaps, huh? I need muff flaps. It's got to be like the Elmer Fudd ones. You know, so you guys got it. We'll keep that vibe going on the road to the Arizona Super Show. That's the goal, is to keep working on this car and adding some details, just over-the-counter stuff, and we'll kind of keep going as we go. Some curve feelers, yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll keep the vibe going. We'll keep working on this the next couple weeks, and hopefully get it ready for that show and just cruise it around and have a good time, and we'll get it. Make it happen. So with that said, guys, there's something that we've been doing the last couple months or last year. We haven't been able to do it a lot this year yet, or it's been a few months since I've done it, but it's the first of the month, the first show of the month. And the first show of the month, we're going to always do the virtual car show. So for any of you guys that want to participate in the virtual car show, we ask that you please submit your photos to sa@redcatracing.com. As long as it's a Redcat product, lowrider, crawler, basher, send them in. If you have a video clip, I'll try and use those as well, and we'll be happy to share them. So this is this month's February 2026's virtual car show video. All right, guys. Again, thank you to everyone that submitted photos to this month's virtual car show. Again, if you don't want to miss out next month, the first show of the month, we're going to do it again. So submit your photos from now throughout the rest of the month. I'll do a shout out and a call out for it every show. And you're going to want to send those photos to sa@redcatracing.com so that we can make sure that we get those created into a montage that you guys saw here. And if your photo is good enough or it stands out, we may also use it on social media and post it on Instagram, Facebook. So make sure that you give us the name of your car if your car has a name, because sometimes these lowrider cars have like the Black Widow 63 or, like a cool, dope name. Make sure you guys drop that in there, or maybe your Instagram handle, so that we can make sure we tag you and give the proper affirmations as well. So guys, submit sa@redcatracing.com. We look forward to seeing your photos. And we'll be happy to share them in the future as well. Let's see. All right. With that said, guys, there's a couple of things I want to bring up to your attention. First and foremost, events coming up. There's an event happening right around the corner. Big shout out to Blvd Surge for holding it down and keeping the shows that are like the homegrown shows, the backyard, the barbecues, and all those kinds of shows active and well. He's setting up a street scene at a lot of these events. The next one coming up here very soon will be, wrong side. There we go. Frank's Custom Hydraulics Super Hop and Car Show. This event's going to go down February 20th. It's actually, I think, a multi-day event, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be Frank's Custom Hydraulics Super Hop and Car Show. February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So 8 to 12 a.m. would be, the hop. Then the next day would be 3 p.m. to midnight. And then the third day is a full day car show, which would be a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to go down at 1501 West Bell Avenue in Phoenix, Arizona. If you want information, please reach out to Frank Custom Hydraulics on Instagram for more info. Hit up Sergio Betancourt, Blvd Surge, if you have any questions about the RC Lowrider Boulevard that he sets up. Big shout out to him again. He's holding it down for all these smaller events and shows that are growing, and he's keeping it active. Another one that's going to happen as well right after that. Oh, actually, you know what? Before the next one, we're going to do the Arizona Super Show. The whole reason for which I'm doing this little insert, right, for this car. The Arizona Super Show was going to go down Saturday, February 28th at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. There is a cost to get in. You're going to want to register ahead of time if possible. It's going to help you get in and streamline at thearizonasupershow.com. Cory Clark Customs is going to be setting up a whole scale town, which should be amazing. Work hard. Unlimited is going to be out there with, I believe, doing some tug of war stuff. Listen, we're going to have crawlers, bashers, drift cars, lowriders. It doesn't matter. As long as you guys are having a good time with your RCs, then we want you guys there. Don't take my word for it, but maybe take my word for it. Take a look.
Arizona, it's time for you to show up and show out. That's right. If you're an RC fanatic, we're calling you out to come on out here and join us February 28th, State Farm Stadium for the Arizona Lowrider Super Show. We're going to have, for the first time ever, a plethora of different RCs, from bashers to crawlers to drifters, and of course, the non-stop hopping with the low-lows. It's going to be a hop competition with the show and shine happening. It's going to be a great time, family-friendly event. Come on out. If you do want to make it out, I do highly recommend that you register at thearizonasupershow.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom and make it happen. We'll see you here.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is your cordial invitation, if you're anywhere near Arizona, to come out to this event, because it's one of the first times that not only are you going to have the lowrider scene active at a lowrider show, but the guys, the whole squad, I mean, Straight Up RC is going to be out there as well. Everyone, they want all RCs to come out. It doesn't matter what scale they are. Just come out and have a good time with us. Like as I mentioned, drift cars, lowriders, bashers, crawlers, you name it. And they're going to have a drag strip set up so that we can have some drag cars on display as well. So please come on out. There's going to be a multitude of categories from the RC car show. There's going to be a RC hop, RC town. Here, let me make that one bigger for you guys so you guys can see. A lowrider RC Boulevard cruise, drift pit, tough truck competition, scale RC display, RC construction site, RC meetup spots, RC drag strip, RC low and slow, limbo. Okay, I see y'all, and much more. So guys, come on out. It should be a great time. February 28th, end of this month. Let's make it happen. All right, next up we have, and I'm also going to be going to this one because I'm actually participating in it, the Arizona Invitational Tattoo Expo. Two of my tattoo artists are actually going to be out there on display, so I will be getting some work done and hopefully having one of my pieces on display as well. So great show. So Boulevard Surge will be out there as well, setting up his own street scene. So big shout out to him again for holding it down. This will be a 2-day event, if I'm not mistaken. So March 20th, 3-day, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. $20 all day and $40 for the entire weekend. Gets you into the Tattoo Expo. The show outdoors will have everything, everything lowrider related outside. Food vendors will be there as well. It's going to be a great time, great vibe. I was there last year. I enjoyed it. I got tattoo wells out there. I mean, why not? It's a tattoo expo. And I was able to meet some really great tattoo artists, which I'm now going back to do some film work and photography work for. So come on out. Great time, great event. It's a weekend event, and it's going to be held at the Renaissance Hotel at Westgate in Glendale, Arizona. And this is the 8th annual that they're doing. So guys, check it out. We'll give you guys more information as we closer as well. But a big shout out to every single person involved in this. So let's hopefully make it happen. All right. Guys, that's about it. That's about all we have here for today. Come back next week as we continue the road to the Arizona Super Show with this ride that I am putting together or assembling and doing slight customizations to as we get ready for that show. Again, it doesn't have over-the-top paint. It's not something that's going to scream, show wind or anything. I just wanted something to cruise. You guys saw that today. We swapped out the axle from a LRH 285 out of a 64. Took that out of this chassis and we put in one for a Monte Carlo for the purpose to be able to fit in a deep dish negative offset wheel so that we can achieve that look that you guys see in the back. Someone had asked what wheels are on the back. The wheels on the back are actually these wheels, the 26ers, just modified. We actually went over just how to do it here quickly as well. Keep an eye out for Skunks Hobbies. He's got some barrels that will be available hopefully sometime soon in plastic and aluminum, if I'm not mistaken, so that you can take the inserts from our 26ers, let's see if I take this off, and put them into, those aluminum barrels, or if you wanted to put the spokes or any variation thereof. So big shout out to him for doing some cool stuff. We'll keep this going, and next week I should have the rest of the chassis cut up. I'm going to do just one side, make sure I have all the clearance so I can show you the difference. And then the following week, we'll do the light kit. If I can get my hands on them, maybe some Jeffries control arms as well, and to kind of put the icing on the cake. And we'll get ready for the show. So we got a couple weeks left. If you do want to participate in the monthly virtual car show, again, as I mentioned earlier, please send all of your photos to sa@redcatracing.com, and we'll make sure we share those. Again, please make sure you give us your Instagram or Facebook name that you want associated, so that if your photo is picked to be reshared on social media at a later time, then we can give you guys a proper affirmation. We appreciate all you guys hanging out with us today. We hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your week. It's Super Bowl Sunday coming up this week, right? Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, I think so.
No, Super Bowl Sunday coming this week, so something to be able to do and enjoy. Even if you're not into the sports or the music, at least it's a great time to enjoy and have a good time. I mean, eating food and conversing and having a good time. Just a reason to enjoy company, right? You guys stay safe, stay blessed. We'll see you guys here next week. Same time, same channel, same ugly face. Till next time, y'all stay safe, but keep it humble.